Hi and welcome to my channel. I was gonna do a video for a long time ago, but life happened, so I don't know if the light is really working because it keeps changing. Hopefully you don't mind. I'm trying to film with the natural light, so it might change a little bit during the video. Sorry about that. But I was gonna film a video about polyamory and what it means to me. Sorry, also Ville is playing CS, so you can probably hear some sounds coming from there or not, I don't know. But yeah, I asked in Instagram if you wanted to hear my journey, how everything started, and where I am now, and about my partners, and I asked if you have any questions. So yeah, first of all, I have been with Ville since 2007, so long time. We basically grew up together. So I've always had these thoughts like as a kid. First of all, I always knew like that I liked boys and girls, so that was not a thing for me at all. Later on in life, I realized that it's not considered to be a norm that you like both genders, which was like, oh, I have to keep this inside. I'm not supposed to be out and about and allowed, you know. Anyways, but I've never been in like a closet with that. But the first time I realized there was something like different about me was when my friend asked me who I liked, and then I started telling all the boys' names who I liked at that moment, and the others started to look at me like, huh? Like I was telling them many names, and then they were like, actually you're supposed to only like one person at a time. And I was like, oh, all right. But I've always like had problems in relationships that I find different kind of people really attractive, and then I've been in a normal mono relationships and then realized, okay, I have feelings for someone else, and then I'm like, I've tried to like forget it, and then it's been a mess. Girl, I've been a mess. And I've always like felt really bad in this box that I was put in. Like you're supposed to only like one gender and get married and have kids and everything, and then be like faithful and stuff like that. And for me it was like, I tried so much being that. Like I don't want kids. That I knew. So I also was like, okay, that's something I can deal with. My parents, well, my mom's another thing completely, but my dad was like, oh, you're gonna have kids, and I was like, no. Anyway, then we got married with Ville in 2011, and we were really happy, and I kind of put this thought in the back burner. Like I didn't meet anyone that was really attractive to me or anything, and I was allowed to flirt, so it wasn't a big deal, and that would give me something sometimes, like just to flirt with someone. And he was also fine with me being with girls, which completely different conversation also, but anyway. Then in 2016, I guess it's 2016, my dad died. So that was like the first thing that made me realize that we only have this one life, and if we want to be happy and not to think about life as like things that I didn't do in the end, I have to be myself, which I I had been so annoying, like even for myself. I was kinda okay with stuff, but then some things which I actually wanted to be, I couldn't like. Uh, I didn't want to actually like hear about them, and I thought they were wrong. Well, I didn't think they were wrong, but I thought that I should think that they were wrong. Like, for example, open relationships, which now I'm completely fine with. So, but anyway, I started thinking about that, but I really didn't know what was happening with myself. And then one of my friends suggested I don't know how you say that word, to me, that, okay, have you ever heard about polyamory? And I was like, no. And they were like, I think you might be polyamorous. And I was like, I don't know what that is, but absolutely not. Then I googled it, and I kind of related to it, and it was like, okay, I can't be this. I started talking about it with Ville for a little bit. It was in the spring of 2017, and he kind of brushed it aside. He was like, okay, whatever. And in January, February, March, April, May, June. In June 2017, I met Jani by accident on a beach. I was hanging there with my friends, and he walked there, and I felt like someone took like a hammer and did this to me, and I was like, okay, what's happening? I had a panic attack, and I went home, and I was like, okay, I'm not gonna see him ever again, so I don't have to worry about this feeling. I don't need to think about it. But I still had this like little small thing inside me that I was like, okay, something's happening. But then a few months later, in August, I actually was asked to film their gig, or 2 gigs that they had. And I actually didn't even think that Jani was in that band. I didn't think about it. And then yeah, he was, and we started talking, and I really liked him, but I knew that I could not do anything. But I was feeling this like really weird thing inside me. I was googling polyamory, and of course I didn't know what Jani thought about me. So, and then we started hanging out more, and it was in September that I told Ville that I might be polyamorous, and I have feelings towards someone. And as you can imagine, he was shocked and felt really bad. But I told him that I understand that it's not, if it's not for him, I can't decide anything for him, because at the same time, this is who I am, but I cannot force him to be anything else that he is. And I think it took like few days, and then he wanted to talk to me about it. And at that point, I talked to Jani and told him that, okay, here's the deal. I'm married. I think I'm polyamorous. I have feelings for him. And he said that he also has feelings for me. But of course, we wanted to like really respect Ville too, so we didn't like really. We hanged out, but not like completely like dated yet, because I wanted to give Ville some space to think about it. But in the end, he actually kind of like was like, I don't want to break up, because when I married you, I married the whole you, the you that you are, and the you that you want to be. And he also felt like, okay, this is kind of like something he also has always needed. He loves his own time and his own peace. and kind of also felt a little bit stuck, like, because he had spent all the time with me and had not that much his own space, if you can say that. Anyways, I think it took some time, like 2 weeks maybe, then Ville and Jani met each other and they kind of hit it off immediately. And yeah, a few months later Jani moved next to our apartment, and then I think we had been together for a year, and then we all moved together, and yeah, been together since then to this day. I was in a really bad mental state, and I was really not wanting to meet anybody. I have so much problems, like I had the like first what's the word, well, stuff was happening. I had the pain stuff going on, and I had asthma, and I was in a bad mental state, and I started playing PUBG, which I play now. Anyways, I saw his picture on this one Discord server, and I commented it, and he saw it and came to my stream, and we started talking, and immediately when I talked to him the first time, I was like, oh fuck. And I had like no idea. I didn't know if he was dating anyone, whatever. And he kind of felt familiar to me in a way that I like felt really safe, and I loved his humor, which is really bad. But of course, as it always is, like, even though the guys Jani and Ville knew I'm polyamorous, and they also are, you never like expect things to happen when they do. Like, you have this, you kind of get into this headspace that okay, this is it, it's us three. And it was also kind of what I was thinking about, and I also kind of wanted a girlfriend, so I wasn't thinking about men at all, actually. So it was kind of an accident. And of course, which is like, I hate the thing that some polyamorous people say that something is a red flag. Yes, it's harder if someone has never been in a polyamorous relationship before, but it doesn't make it like red flag or that you cannot date that person. It might be that that person is for you, but you have to work much harder. But yeah, we met and started talking. We talked a lot. Then he actually said to me that if I would like to have coffee with him, and of course I said yes, and I told the guys I was gonna meet him, and I immediately knew when I met him that okay, I know, I just know these things, and I knew, and started talking to Ville and Jani about it, but they were like a little bit like not thinking about it maybe. And then I don't remember the timeline because I was really in bad headspace at that time. But then we started talking about our feelings with Johannes, and I told him, okay, yeah, but I really have to talk to Ville and Jani, because this is something that they have to accept, because I cannot do it if they don't. So we talked. It was a difficult time for a while, but actually it was maybe after 1 week, about like after the talk, they wanted to meet Johannes, and yeah, they also are really good friends now. And in last August we also moved closer to Johannes, so he lives really close to us. And yeah, we have our difficulties, but I have now completely realized that I'm polyamorous. Like, I can have feelings to other people. I'm not trying to put myself in a box, and I'm really proud of myself. I was trying to like put myself in this box that okay, you're not allowed to have feelings for anyone else ever again, then I was just doing harm to myself. But yeah, you asked, for example, how I make time for each of my partners. I live with Ville and Janni, so we spend a lot of time together. I also play in the same team with Janni, but we also have coffee dates. I don't know. It's hard to like really answer this question because it's normal to me, as normal as for some person being with one partner is. That's how we make time. And of course, because Johannes is newest partner of mine, we spend a little bit more time together, especially now because we've had a lot of stuff we had to go through because of my mental health journey. But it's just we don't have that like specific dates and times and whatever. We go with the flow. And if someone feels more alone or has some stressful times or pressure, then we make more time for them, and then of course we spend a lot of time, the four of us. And another question was, what if I want to spend some time alone? I really don't. I have a lot of time alone when the guys are at work at school, so that's when I have my alone time. And then also if I want to have alone time, I just go to my room and that's it. I don't know how to explain it. It's I just tell them, okay, I want to do something, but I rarely do because I really enjoy spending time with them. But yeah, if you have any other questions, just write them below if you want to. And that's kind of the short version of my story. I can also tell you more about how I feel about polyamory and stuff like that, but that could be another video on its own. So yeah, that was my story. Thank you. Bye.